Hey the YouTube, KSCuber here, and today I'm back again with another used cube unboxing, this time from GhostCuber. I bought a couple different miscellaneous cubes from him. There's some more modern things and also some a little bit older things in here, so let's just get started and get right into it. Okay, so let's just start this on a cube by cube basis. First up, this is either a spring swapped Aosu or I believe a Guansu. I'll put it up on the screen once I figure that out exactly. But this actually is a pretty nice turning 4x4. Straight out of the thing here, it seems to turn pretty well actually. Seems to be well lubricated and fairly well broken in. I don't know, I'm not getting like popping issues or anything. The layers seem to be about the same strength. Pretty nice. All in all, I might do a 4x4 solve here at the end since I do have a few 4x4s and I've been practicing 4x4 quite a bit. Next up here, I believe this might be the spring swapped Aosu. I've heard Aosus could be really good, but mine actually wasn't. I mean, the ones out of the box at least. I have one that's a little bit broken in, that's pretty good, but I've heard that these were really good back in the day, and I'm excited to have one that's supposed to be pretty good, and this is definitely the Aosu, because he said it was swapped with WuQue soft springs, which this thing feels like it has some very soft springs in there. Let's just quickly check corner cutting on these. On this one here, right about middle of one piece, it catches at anything past that, and just a little bit of reverse corner cutting. Turning is very fast and very fluid. It doesn't seem like it's going to pop or anything. I've had a couple of Aosus explode on me. And let's just quickly check corner cutting on this one here. Corner cutting on this one's actually a little bit better, just past middle of the piece, but reverse cutting seems to be a little bit lacking. So anyway, both good 4x4s, a little bit older, but mainly for the collection. I have quite a few 4x4s, and I don't have either of those, or at least I have an Aosu, but I don't have one quite that good. Next up here, we have a WuQue Weilong GTS1, and from what I've heard, this one's magnetic. So I'm actually really excited to try this out. I like the WuQue GTS1, actually more in the GTS2, though, I mean, it's still a little bit too fast for my turning style. But with the magnets in there, I think that's actually going to be a really cool cube. It has a really light and kind of crunchy feeling. Not even crunchy, it's like super, what can I relate this to? Maybe like some of those really satisfying videos or satisfying video compilations where they have that stuff that just like crunches up and like turns into powder. That's about how this thing feels. It's very, it's even higher pitched than potato chips crunching or something. It's really a strange noise slash feel to this cube. But anyway, let's just quickly check corner cutting here. Corner cutting on this side at least is about 60 degrees. It won't go much more than that. And reverse cutting is right at line to line. It may have full corner cutting with a little bit of tension adjustment, but as you can see, it's actually a couple sides, it's okayly tension. On this side, it's a little bit tight on the orange side there, so that might be part of it. But interesting sound, interesting feel, and I definitely am really excited to get some solves in on a magnetic GTS1, as that actually is one of my favorite cubes right now. Okay, next up here, this is actually my first Megaminx, the QJ Megaminx. I think I might have gotten one in one of my recent unboxings, but I'm not exactly sure. I think this video is going to come out before those unboxings if I did, but either way, this is a little bit smaller than a standard Megaminx. And like I said, this was my first Megaminx, so it's kind of nostalgic in that sense. I actually didn't know it was going to be in white, but that's really cool still. And as you can see, it has a very similar to actually like the QJ pillowed 4x4 mechanism, which is really strange. I think my other one here, my one that I had originally, actually was a little bit less refined mechanism. So I wonder if maybe this is like the V2 or something else there. Just a little bit different mechanism than the other one there. It seemed a little bit rougher on the other one. But as you can see, this actually might actually turn pretty well, or at least I considered it pretty good turning back when I first started. It was better than my Shengshao, and this one I don't think is any exception. It doesn't have much corner cutting, but just the turning in general is pretty smooth and fluid, and with a smaller size and less catching than the Shengshao, I actually really liked this Megaminx back in the day. And I have one again, so that's pretty cool. Next up here, this is actually what I've been excited to try out too. This was the main for a lot of people for a long time in Megaminx. It was kind of like the Dayan 2x2 old plastic. This is the Dayan ridged Megaminx. My Megaminx turning is horrible, and actually it seems pretty loose on that side there. Or at least it's catching. Let's just quickly check here. Yeah, I think it's loose on a couple sides. Very, very loose actually. But anyway, I've heard really good things about this, and of course it is an older Megaminx, so I don't expect it to live up to like the modern Megaminx standards, but I also have heard that it does from some people. So I don't know, just really excited to try this one out with the ridges. It makes it very easy to grip, and I definitely have to get into Megaminx more. It definitely has different shades that I'm used to also, but pretty cool. Dayan Megaminx, it seems to turn very, very well. Let's just quickly check corner cutting. It seems to be having some catching issues. Yeah, I think it's mostly because of the loose tensions. There's a corner twist there, and wow, these corners twist ridiculously easy on this one right here. Let's just quickly check corner cutting though. I think you can do 45 if you tension it a little bit tighter. It's a little bit too loose right now. But of course, the Mega Minxes you can make a lot looser because most of the time they don't pop. But as you can see, a little bit of reverse corner cutting and about 45 degrees normal corner cutting. Maybe even better with a little bit of adjustment to the tensions. So anyway, that is the Dayan Mega Minx. Haven't had one of those before and cool to try one out. Next up, I have to be careful with this one because it is missing an internal piece, but this is more just for the collection than anything else. This is a WuQue 4. I've never had one of these before, and I can see under that white piece, I think that's where it's missing a internal mechanism piece. And actually, this one turns really well. Wow, I'm very, very impressed with the turning on that. Here's where I pull the piece out there, if this is the more modern mechanism or an older mechanism. 4x4, it looks like a more modern mechanism. So like the QJ pillowed 4x4 actually has solid pieces. Let me go grab that for a second. Here is the QJ pillowed 4x4. I don't think I actually showed this in my video. But like some other 4x4s of the time, like older 4x4 mechanisms, the QJ had a really interesting non-internal piece mechanism. As you can see, it's kind of around a ball core. And that has these pieces right here, which basically reduce the need for internal mechanism, or at least completely eliminate it. They basically are just more solid pieces. I actually really enjoyed using this 4x4 back in the day, not because it was very fast, but just because I did not like the pops of any other 4x4 in the market. So this one, I thought actually turned pretty well for what it is. I mean, it's an old 4x4 mechanism, and it's a QJ pillowed 4x4, but this one here from WuQue actually turns a lot better, which now I know it has the internal pieces, that makes sense. Plus this one's probably been used and lubricated quite a bit, more for the collection than anything else, because like I said, it is missing an internal piece, and I really don't want to pop it. So anyway, there you go. I now have a WuQue, a couple of WuQue 3s, and a WuQue 4. I think the alignment mechanism went off there. So now, I'm actually going to figure out what cube this is. I guess maybe it's a GTS2, but I didn't think it was. No, this is the Cosmic Volk. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering why it was in a GTS2 box, but as you can see, we have the TMOU cards. Usually come with the GTS2 in the GTS2 box, which now I have another one, so that's kind of cool. This is a Cosmic Volk, which I don't think is a Cosmic Volk Magnetic, but actually that's even better because I've been wanting to try the standard non-magnetic Volk for a while. And this one here, out of the box, is exactly as expected. It's a Volk. I don't actually have a non-magnetic Volk, a non-magnetic full-size Volk. I need to get one in black next, but now I have one stickerless, and that's a good start. Obviously I have the magnetic Volk, and I have 3, I think. Maybe just 2. Okay, I do have more non-magnetic Volks. I have 2 limited edition in blue and, what's the other color? Some sort of blue and mint, I think is what it is. Aqua blue and mint Volk, maybe? So I actually do have 2, but they are not in standard colors, so I don't consider them really like Volk 3s. So I actually have 2 mini Volks. I have a rose pink limited, a stickerless mini, a magnetic stickerless Volk, and the 2 limited editions. So this is my first non-magnetic standard Volk. I'm actually really excited to solve on this one. As you can see right out of the box, the turning is really, really spectacular, as is to be expected of the Volk. Even without magnets, the Volk is a very, very good cube. And actually I have the Volk Power M to test it against right here. This is the magnetic one, obviously, but man, that feel is so much different in the Power M. I don't know how I think about between the two there, but I think I like the original Volk as of right now. I'm going to tension and test the Power M further as I just got that one, but the Volk original is very, very good. Let's just quickly give that a scramble, a solve, and now do a 4x4 solve, and then we'll be at about the end of the video for today. Camera's about to run out of battery, so I'm just going to finish scrambling this, and then I'll switch it out. Okay, there you go. Switch on my memory card, and there you go. That is a scrambled Volk. Let's quickly get a solve in here. It's through the camera, so it's not going to be super great. That's the one downside about this behind the camera setup. You kind of have to look through the camera. You can't look around it, or it's going to be out of focus. So this is actually pretty challenging to solve very well through the camera with look ahead and all that. It's not quite as three-dimensional as I would like. But anyway, this thing turns very, very well, as is to be expected from a broken-in Volk. Very, very nice. And there you go. It's solved. So let's see. I saved the best for last. As you can see, this actually came in a Xingqiao Pearl Mega Minx box, so I was kind of confused about that. But here it is. This is actually a Cubicle Premium WuQue M, which is a cube I've been wanting to try out for a while. I had the normal WuQue, or WuQue? WuQue. Might be WuQue. Anyway, I've been told that it's called the WuQue from other people, and this one here is a magnetic one. I've heard that one of the magnets is actually a little bit weaker than the others, but other than that, it should be a very, very good puzzle. I haven't tried a magnetic WuQue yet. I've tried Aosu GTS M, the Yushin Blue M, and I think maybe one other magnetic 4x4. I don't know, but I haven't tried this one before, and this is actually has potential to be my new main because a lot of people say this one is the best on the market. So I'm really excited to try this out. Let's just quickly check tensions here, make sure it's not going to pop on me. It seems to be fairly well, and turns are very, very nice. Seems a bit gummy out of the box, but other than that, seems to be pretty good. Let's just try parity quickly on this. There you go. I really have to focus on that, make sure I got that right. I've been trying a new algorithm there, which doesn't use these slice moves I used to use, which are definitely a little bit slower, but as you can see, there's the parity algorithm on 4x4, so I think for the end of the video, I'm just going to do a quick solve on this 4x4, put a little timer on the screen on what I get exactly. Let's just quickly get into hand scrambling this. First off, I like the feel of the outer and internal layers together, and also it's nice to be solving on a 62mm 4x4 with a little bit of flexibility again. I was actually solving the Yushin Blue M, which I'll just show here in a minute because I forgot to unbox that. Well, I haven't unboxed that on my channel from GhostCuber. I actually just got that the other day, and I've been doing a couple solves on that. I did about 60 yesterday night, and man, it's a fast cube. It's the fastest 4x4 I've ever tried. It's really, really nice, but it's just not flexible enough. I don't know exactly. You have to keep the tensions really tight, otherwise it pops, and it just doesn't feel that great for me. So I'm going to do some more breaking on it. Maybe I just have to break it in a little bit more, but so far I'm not the biggest fan of the Yushin Blue M with the spring swap. I actually have a different one coming from TC Cubes here in a few days, so I'll be able to try that one out too and give different impressions. Actually, I'm going to look out of the camera on this one here, so I'm going to adjust my focus a little bit farther away. And let's just get into this here. Let's see if I can get like a sub 130 solve. First solve, starting now. I used Yao for 4x4, and I feel like I'm really inefficient, and I have a lot of room for improvement on 4x4, mainly because like my first edge pairings here are really, really slow. So I think I have a lot of room for improvement, and I think with a lot more practice, I'm going to be able to get like in the 50-second range, which is kind of fun. I like the idea of being a fairly fast 4x4 solver, since I'm not that great at 3x3. Really want to get a sub 1 here one of these days, though. I think that's the first step. I have a 104 yesterday night with single parity, and I have a 109 or something like that with double parity. So I have a 102 with no parity, so I don't know. Getting very, very close to that. I think my PB average of 5 is like a 114 or something. So I don't know. I like 4x4. I think it's my new favorite event. Pretty sure it's my new favorite event, and I'm probably going to start practicing it quite a bit more, which I've already done like, I don't know, maybe 400 solves on 4x4, but I think I'm going to start doing more than that. And I'll put the time on the screen. This one seems like a pretty fast solve. Parity. I really have to watch on that parity algorithm to make sure I don't mess it up. And I'm sure the commentary is a little bit lax here because I'm trying to talk and focus on 4x4 at the same time. It's not something I can really do on autopilot yet. Haven't got quite that good at. Kind of like 3x3 where I can kind of do autopilot. And there you go. 4x4 solve completed. Hopefully I didn't go off focus too much. I'm pretty sure it did. But actually this cube is really, really good. I'm going to have to do an average on that. And this might be my new main 4x4. So we'll see. And actually I messed it up there somehow. How did I do that? Oh, I see. Okay, I'm blue on top. Okay, well that makes more sense. Well, whatever. I'll just solve this here. Color neutral. Half of a 3x3 solve. And then I'll finish up the video for today. By the way, thanks to GhostCuber for sending me these cubes. Gave me a fairly good deal on them, and they are very, very nice. Let me go grab my Yushin Blue M that I got from him. As you can see, this is the Yushin Blue M. It was custom magnetized by GhostCuber. This is a smaller 60mm size, and man, this thing, when I say it wasn't flexible, I mean, it's just not as flexible as some other 4x4s without locking up. I have to keep on really tight tensions. These are pretty much the out-of-box tensions he gave to me, but then I tried it out on some other ones, and I really couldn't get it to work that well. So anyway, this thing is very, very, very fast, but other than that, it's just not, I don't know, not flexible enough. Okay, well that's about it for this unboxing today. Actually, only 15 seconds left recording on this camera. My other one there went out and I decided to be done. I think I have like 3 more seconds. KS Cuber out! Goodbye! Check out my Instagram, KS_Cuber.